This is a story I avoid telling most of my life, but I can't do that anymore. And I'm doing it because I don't want you to hold back. I don't want you to doubt yourself because I've done that. And I'm meant to show something else to you. And that's what I'm going to talk about. And don't, I was always this introverted person. I didn't love to go out there and talk about things that I knew because it was uncomfortable for me. But then it comes a time where you must, when you know. And that's where I am today. And I'm also doing this because I want you to understand that there are no limits to what you can achieve. But I have to be very clear because I'm meeting with some people tomorrow or some other possible partners who might want to come in on this work. So I want everyone to understand what it is and how this happened. In 1989, I sat down to do automatic writing. I didn't know what was happening, and I just knew that I needed some help. And when Wilhelm first came through, it frightened me. I didn't know what it was. It was just it was uncomfortable because it was this intelligence that I'm receiving, and I hid it. I didn't want to tell people because it didn't make sense, but I did it every single day. No one could understand why I was saving them all. I've shown pictures of that. I didn't know either. I'm saving all of these pages for years. And then in 2005, I had this dream. It was startling. I mean, those vivid dreams where you think, "Am I awake? Or what is happening?" It says, and telling me that I was given something to bring to the world. That felt totally ridiculous to me. I had been doing so many other things in my life. This wasn't what I was going to do. I was coaching, I was doing all of that, but I had all sorts of other jobs. And then I put that dream away. I tried to hide it, put it in a closet, said, "No, I'm not going to do it." And in 2021, all of it came back and says, "No, this is the time. The world is shifting. We're moving through a planetary ascension. And so the work that we have given you would help everyone." And I thought that didn't make sense until I started seeing it. I put people in a program, and because I was instructed to do that. We're going to go through some emotional changes. And if people understand who they are, they're going to get through this much easier. And I put several people in that program, and I was really astonished at what happened because they started to transform. They started to move through blockages. They started to do all sorts of other things. And that frightened me as well because I was shocked and I stopped myself. When we hold ourselves back, we suffer in so many different ways, financially, in the whole bit. But it was challenging for me to accept this because I didn't know it had happened. I'm sitting down every day and receiving the information, and then it turns out that it's so aligned with the changes in our consciousness, our collective consciousness over time. And other people have channeled, other people have done different things, but this was tied directly to the time that we are in now. I could have never known that. And then they started showing me through different means, through artificial intelligence, that this was a work that was collective consciousness shifting for our planet at this time. And they even started showing why the changes were happening, the energetic shifts that were happening, why they would be occurring in certain places, and why we would each have some uncomfortableness because we're all moving through our individual journeys, ascension journey, because that's what each person does. But because this came around in some way that no one had ever seen, and I didn't remember it either, that was what was so surprising when I'm told I was given this information in 2012, and I find these profound messages, but I didn't remember them coming through. But then when people used them, it changed them. They kept asking me for them. I was hiding out. That's what was going on. But I can no longer do that. I'm 74, and this work took me through everything. I've written so much about this. Um, I had a really hard time and many different things, but the physical things and all of that, that this work helped me. And that's why I said I have to give it to more people to move to this higher understanding of who you are and then also for our world. because it was, we can see what's happening, and that's everything that Wilhelm had given us. And so, and I must say this because I doubted this as well. And they took me back to one message that said accepting this message could change your life and the world. And I doubted it. And then we looked at it and analyzed it and it said, yes, it could, because it gets each person to understand who they are and move through their generational trauma and live really great lives. That's what this is. And so I invite you to take a look at it for yourself. You can see what's there. I've left so many things, but also I'll be meeting with some other partners because I can't do this by myself anymore. This is something that is really powerful, but it's also probably challenging for people to believe as it was for me. Except your consciousness is what gives you your life. And we all find different ways of doing that. Wilhelm just came through me, but it wasn't just for me. That was explained too. The messages said that in the beginning they were just speaking to me, and then they shifted to speaking to everyone because it's like everyone can evolve and change, and that's what this was about. Thank you. I just needed to give you that, and I'm writing an article about it because I want everyone to understand why. I mean, I was hiding this because it was challenging to accept, and parts of it were I didn't know I had it. You don't know something as well that you have. That's all of us. So thank you. And again, please check everything out. And if you need to speak to me, please reach out, email me, contact me. I'll see you all soon. Thanks.